Now, do you believe in ghosts and things that go bump in the night? Well, plenty of people do. Some even consult psychics to try and contact lost relatives and friends. Well, JC Norman's been to meet a woman who claims she can contact spirits. So we decided to put her to the test.
From fear of death and error free, the ties of love can never be riven.
We're here at the Oldham Spiritualist Church, where Pauline Montgomery is about to demonstrate her claim that she can make a connection between the bereaved and their lost loved ones.
I can only hear this very faintly, okay. Do you know anybody called Sam? In the spirit world, yeah, because I can only hear it faintly.
Pauline is known as a psychic artist and believes she can create pencil portraits of the deceased without any prior knowledge of their identity.
Do we know a George as well, please?
Yes.
Yeah, quite a funny chap.
Yes.
Yeah, because I just feel this man's around and he tries to bring upliftment, if you like, okay. Yes. But I'm feeling here she's quite a chatty, funny lady.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. She says here she's just keeping her eye on Stephen.
Right.
Okay, you do know who he is, do you?
Yes.
But just lots and lots of love. Okay. Right, well, do you know who this lady is?
Yes.
Who is it?
Very like my granny.
Your gran? Okay. Okay, darling.
Well, as a little girl, I used to see things, but you just think everybody else can see the same thing, so you don't bother about it. I don't see people like I see you, but I do get very strong mental images and hear very strong voices, but it's all mental, it's all going through my mind. And then when that stops, then the picture starts. So at the time that I'm actually drawing the picture, I can't see anybody.
She's saying it now.
So you're actually not thinking about what you're drawing, you're putting a pencil to paper?
Just following it round the paper, yeah.
How do you tune into it?
Just start looking and listening in an empty space, or what appears to be an empty space. So it's like taking my consciousness away from you and into, like I said, what appears to be an empty space.
Do you think people that have lost loved ones are maybe more vulnerable to mediums?
Yeah, because I suppose if people are desperate, they can be more open to it, yeah.
Pauline, who has 4 children and 12 grandchildren, has lived in Oldham nearly all of her life. She makes a modest living from group demonstrations and personal consultations. We decided to put her to the test by taking her to a location with a history of hauntings. Would she be able to contact and identify a spirit from the distant past? This is the beautiful village of Chipping, which nestles on the fringe of Lancashire's unspoilt Trough of Bowland.
In the 1830s, a serving girl by the name of Elizabeth Dean earned her living at the Sun Inn pub. Lizzie was just 20 when she fell in love with a local man who promised to marry her. One day in the attic servants' quarters, she was drawn to the window by a commotion coming from the churchyard across the street.
To her horror, Lizzie saw her betrothed on the church steps with another woman, a woman he had clearly just married.
In her anguish, Lizzie threw a rope over one of the beams, strung herself up and kicked away the chair. According to villagers, she's haunted the Sun Inn ever since.
And many claim to have seen Lizzie, including landlord Steve Wadsworth.
Have you seen her quite recently?
Yeah, I saw her a week last Wednesday. It was an evening. She walked from the ladies' toilets down the corridor there, and I just managed to see the back of her blouse and her hair. Saw the colour of her hair and the blouse. I've seen her several times now. That was the 8th time. We've got a growing Lizzie club actually. People have actually seen her. There's quite a few people in the village that have seen her.
I mean, could it not be that, you know, people had a bit to drink and they thought they saw something?
I definitely saw a young lady that night. Yeah, definitely.
Pauline had no idea where we'd brought her to. We'd blindfolded her for the last 10 miles of the journey. Could she contact the spirit of Lizzie Dean?
Oh, it's cold in here, isn't it? It just feels as though at one time, not now, but maybe at one time, it was really quite a noisy place, this. I'm quite happy at the moment, but I think there's something not very nice, you know, about it that might have been covered up. Name Elizabeth, can you hear? Elizabeth. Did anybody commit suicide here? Because that's what I'm feeling. I'm sure somebody either died in here or killed themselves.
What makes you say that?
It's just a feeling, and I don't know whether it's hanging or not. But yeah, I'll have to say it because I don't know whether I'm right or wrong at the moment. But I've got rope as well. Yeah, I feel like. It's like I want to open the window. I feel like somebody's going, somebody's arrived and somebody's going. And it's like I want to shout after them. Don't leave me here. Don't leave me here. Oh, am I over there somewhere? Am I over there? I feel like I'm looking for myself.
At this point, Pauline started sketching, and within a couple of minutes she'd produced an image of a young woman. Having completed the drawing, Pauline wanted to explore the rest of the building, so we went downstairs into the pub itself.
Oh my word, I've got a coffin. Good gracious, I've got a coffin being brought in. There's a lot of men with this coffin.
What are you saying, an empty coffin?
No, not an empty coffin. As though, like, fellas have brought this man who's died in here, in his coffin.
Landlord Steve later revealed that in days gone by, the Sun Inn had adjoined the premises of an undertaker. Steve was also keen to see Pauline's sketch.
I mean, do you think you might want to frame this in the pub?
It'd be nice if we could keep it, obviously. It's been very surprising to have somebody come in that doesn't know the history of the place and to come up with an artist's impression like that. It's amazing.
Some people watching this might think that because you've touched on so many of the key things about the ghost of Lizzie, that perhaps you've been here before.
No, I haven't a clue where I am.
No idea.
I've never heard of Chipping. So I don't even know where it is.
If, as Pauline maintains, she had no prior knowledge of the Chipping ghost story, what she came up with was pretty remarkable. Whatever you believe, there is one fact that remains, and it's set in stone. Elizabeth Dean did exist and died at the tender age of 20.
She's buried here under this ancient yew tree, and on her headstone are just the words, "There's a hallowed sweetness in cherishing a remembrance of those we loved."
Ah, bless.
All over a man.
A man.
What would you say to the cynics out there that would perhaps doubt what you can do?
Take it or leave it. If you come to see me, then you come in because you're curious, maybe. But why are you curious? Believe it if you do. If you don't, it doesn't matter.